Hello, my name is Gloria Epstein. I have been appointed by the Toronto Police Services Board to head an independent civilian review into missing persons investigations by the Toronto Police Service. In my opinion, the work of the review is of critical importance to our diverse communities within Toronto, and specifically to how missing person investigations are done and should be done, particularly as affecting marginalized or vulnerable communities. This independent review was prompted by the tragic deaths of members of our community, and more specifically by deep concerns expressed about how the Toronto Police Service conducted the investigations into their disappearances. Questions have been raised about whether the handling of such missing person investigations has been tainted by systemic bias or discrimination, and whether current policies and procedures adequately protect against implicit or explicit bias or discrimination against members of the LGBTQ2S+ community and marginalized or vulnerable groups more generally. This independent review was also prompted by questions raised about how and when the Toronto Police Service advises or cautions the public and members of specific communities about safety concerns arising from missing person investigations, and whether the current approach adequately protects the public. It is important that these and related questions are addressed in an independent, transparent, and thorough way. To that end, the Toronto Police Services Board established a working group to make recommendations to it. I wish to express my appreciation to the working group and its facilitator, Reese Davies, for their hard work and skill in developing the model for an independent systemic review and terms of reference that capture the important issues to be examined. To the members of the public, particularly those most directly impacted by the events that prompted this review, I commend the terms of reference to you. They are available on this webpage. In my correspondence to the Chair of the Police Services Board, Andy Pringle, dated August 18, 2018, which is available to the public online, I proposed some modest changes to the terms of reference and explained why I proposed those changes. They are designed to ensure that I have the necessary independence and discretion to do my work, while capturing the intent and objectives of the working group and the board. These suggested changes also confirm my desire to hear the widest range of views from stakeholders, whether they are community members or members of the service. I am mandated not to prejudice ongoing criminal proceedings, and I intend to respect that limitation. In my personal view, the importance of the issues identified in the terms of reference support the commencement of my work now, rather than awaiting completion of any related criminal proceedings. Of course, if any areas remain unexplored as a result of this limitation, I will identify them together with recommendations in my final report. I intend to engage in a broad consultative process that will enable members of the community to speak with me either in a public forum or, at their request, confidentially. I wish to embark on that consultative process early in my work. I expect that those consultations will assist me in shaping my overall approach to this review. That is why it is premature for me to say too much at this point in time. People have been the focus of my career path. During my 7 years as a waitress, my 2 years operating a fishing camp on an island in northern Ontario, my 15 years as a lawyer, and my 25 years as a judge, people from many walks of life have taught me a great deal. I can make no stronger statement of my commitment to this review than by indicating that I chose to retire from the Court of Appeal for Ontario to enable me to devote my time and my energy to this critical work. I look forward to the listening and learning process ahead that will form the foundation of this review. I will be assisted in this work by Mark Sandler, my counsel. He is very experienced as counsel to a series of public inquiries and systemic reviews, and is well positioned to provide needed expertise. His work as an appellate and trial criminal litigator for 38 years, as a human rights advocate and former part-time member of the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario, will stand us in good stead. I also intend to engage an advisor, as well as an advisory group, to further ensure the diverse voices within the community are heard and contribute to my final report. We have already started the process of collecting relevant documents for examination, and we intend to hit the ground running when I officially commence my duties at the beginning of September. We have created this website to enable the public to keep up to date on the progress of the review. I expect that my final report will be issued on or before April 2020. This time period reflects the large task that awaits me. The board has indicated that it recognizes the need to repair its relationship with the LGBTQ2S+ communities in the City of Toronto and foster ongoing positive relations with members and organizations within those communities. Such a relationship must be built on transparency, accountability, and trust. I am hopeful that my recommendations will ultimately promote efficient, effective, bias-free policing in relation to the missing persons investigations, and more generally in relation to communities that feel marginalized and vulnerable. I am honored to have the opportunity to serve the public in this way.